Hi there, it's Dawn here, and I would just like to say thank you for coming through and checking out my blog today, which is all about Twitter. And before we get going, I just want to say, like I've mentioned in my blog, I am definitely not an expert. However, I just thought it'd be really good to do a blog this week about this amazing tool that I've been using. So I do apologise actually. I was hoping to really have a nice little webcam, in the corner so that you could see that, it's quite nice when you can see people as well, isn't it, in the corner. I quite like that. But unfortunately, it's 11:15 on Thursday evening and this blog has got to be ready for tomorrow, and the children had a late night because their auntie came round and I look terrible, so I kind of thought I'd do you all a favour and stay off camera tonight. So yeah, it was really just I thought it'd be really good to do a blog about Twitter, because I just think it's a bit like the unsung hero, and everything's Facebook. And although recently, I have heard that there's so many people that are kind of, as my title suggests, and the image, they're kind of trying to move some of their eggs into other social media baskets now, because I, for one, that's how I started my online business, and using Facebook as a marketing tool. And don't get me wrong, it's been absolutely fantastic. And I do think you need to sort of understand one strategy and how something works before you start moving on to something else. Because it's quite difficult if you've got 3 or 4 things on the go and you're trying to learn all the different platforms and understand how they work. But I certainly think it's doable to understand at least 2. But I kind of wasn't really doing that. And it was only until sort of mid-January that I went on a YouTube course with Tom Breeze, which was fantastic. So I was kind of in the throes of, trying to set up my AdWords account and connecting it to Google Analytics. And YouTube is a very complex sort of advertising platform. But luckily, I've got that all done now, and I do run campaigns on YouTube quite often. But it was just around the time when my Facebook account got shut down at the end of January. So it was just one night, I'd got ads running. I was thinking, right, I'm just about to do YouTube. I still wasn't doing anything really with Twitter at that point. And I just got an email late one night. I was just sat on the sofa Sunday evening saying your ad account has been closed. And I was like, oh my God, now what? So it just did mean that I couldn't advertise for a few weeks until I'd got everything sorted out with YouTube. But it kind of forced me to think, right, I really need to understand Twitter as well, and especially how I knew that they were going into a lot of video as well, and that was being introduced. They've got the promoted posts, tweets that you can do and all that type of thing. So I just thought, I kind of got a little bit more stuck into it. And then somebody I know, Craig Adams, who has his own business, which is youngpreneurs.com. He uses this tool, and he's gone from sort of 0 to, over 4,500 within 2 months. But I do know he's into the 5,000s and above now. So yeah, so just to get started really and give you a quick demo on how this works, what I'm going to do is I'll see how far I get in, and I might break this down into 2 sections depending on how much I get done, because I don't want them to be too long. I know it's like when you see them and think you haven't got time. So I might just kind of do part of it and then do a part 2 as well. But let's see how we get on to start with. So first of all, if TweetAdder is something that you want to use to sort of make your life much simpler and easier when it comes to tweeting and being active on Twitter, then this is just a really fantastic tool to use. And it just means that you could schedule some time, for example, just say, on a Monday, and think, right, I'm going to spend 2 hours creating some content for Twitter and then loading it up, and you can pretty much leave things on autopilot for the rest of the week. So once you've actually set up an account, which just before we go on actually, below this video, I've also added a couple of downloadables for you, one of them being the actual user manual for this, so at least you can go and check it out before you kind of get into it, so you can understand the simplicity of how it actually works. And in there, there's a screenshot of every single action that you would need to take, which is fantastic. So do take a look at that. And then the other downloadable document is something that I kind of found on the website and it was 116 ways, you know, Twitter slang, to be honest with you. That's what it is. And understanding what all this, you know, like these letters mean when you're on Twitter and that kind of thing. So I've just kind of made it look more user friendly, because it was looking a bit, it was just text and looking drab. So I've made it so that you can download it, keep it so that when you're doing Twitter, you can kind of use a bit of the lingo yourself. So I do hope that those really do help you. So just moving into what we need to do now. So I would just literally click on my name, and then open user. So once I'm in here, what we'll do is, first of all, we'll go into like the following and how you would actually follow somebody on Twitter. So the one that I tend to use quite a lot is followed by, is the tweet search. So what I would do is I would go into here and just put in something like at Pat Flynn, for example. Is really popular. You don't need to put location there unless you're looking for people within your local area, then that's fine. Looking for results, do you want the most popular or the most recent tweets? And this will sort of drag the content out from there. You could just put English in there, and then the maximum results that you want it to draw out for you. To be honest with you, if you've not got a Twitter account, then you might only want it to pull out the first 100, because when you're actually following people, this is what I believe, that you know, you don't want to look too spammy, you know, so it does have its policies as well. It's not all in and do whatever you like on Twitter. It's certainly got its guidelines like Facebook has, but I've been sort of adding 50 followers a day and being quite consistent with that. And I think as your numbers start increasing, you can start increasing your number of followers each day as well. So I'll just draw out 100 to start with, and if you hit search now, what this actually does then is it brings up all the people. So there's 100 people here who are also within my niche, because if they like Pat Flynn, then they're into passive incomes and all that type of thing. Then you can go on here and look at the profile. So rather than just what they've tweeted, you might want to find out who they actually are. And then all you literally do is, I've not followed anybody today purposely so I could do this tutorial. So I would just literally have a scan through and think, right, okay, everyone looks pretty sort of normal there. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you can just click through like that, and you'll just soon add them all. Sometimes they'll go a bit slower, because if it something looks like a foreign language that I know I'm definitely not going to understand, then I would discard. But I'll just go through and click some of the followers here. Don't know what, in fact you can see there now, if that was at 100, I've just clicked on 60, so it's just drawn out. Have I really clicked on 60? But there you go. So if you just keep on going, I mean, this really is our quick, I mean, I'll do 100 today. I don't think I'll get into trouble. I'm kind of building up my numbers now. So let's have a look. Oh, I've just put someone in with a foreign language, but hey ho, it's a tutorial. So there we go. That's all. So I've done my following for the day. They're all within my niche, so I'm not just kind of picking out random followers or buying lists as well. I mean, I don't really understand that, to be honest with you. I'm sure there's something in it, but it's something that I've not really explored. I want things to be within the niche that I'm interested in. So then that's the one that I generally tend to use the most. But what another good thing that you could do is, so if we go back into the tweet search again and do the same again, and I'll pull up maybe 500 this time. What you might want to do is, if you've got, so you're not having to go through this search, because obviously, Pat Flynn's quite popular. So you could have a mix there. And what you can actually do then is, if you can see the screen, I'll just move this up slightly. You've got follow later. So if you hit that button, what it'll do is it'll put it into there for you. But then if I go into the same again, and now I might want to click in here and put Amy Porterfield, and do the same with Amy, bring that up here, and it'll bring out and export all the people that are following Amy Porterfield as well. So 500, as you can see, I mean, it doesn't take too long, but so again, what I can do is follow them later. And when you go back, say tomorrow, all you would need to do then is go into your follow later list. You've already pulled out you know, we've got 1,000 people in here now. Well, I've actually, because I've been following I do this quite a bit. So I've got quite a lot of people in here, and they're all within my niche. And then you can order them by last tweet date. So you know that these people are quite active. These are the ones that are sort of tweeting, or let's have a look, by join date or friends or tweets, screen names, number of followers. So if I do followers there, you can see that this one here is digital Amy, or whatever that is anyway. Amy Jo Martin. So again, you can just go through. So if you're wanting to sort of connect with people who've got huge followers as well, then I could just go through here and again go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, da, 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 da. And if you can see there, it's picking out at Amy Porterfield and various other things in there as well. So, and then you've got a follow back list. So these are all the people that have followed me. And if I want to follow them back, I will literally just go and click on their name. Just check out. I do this tend to sometimes be a little bit more slowly. See who they are. I'm getting quite a few people following here, probably up to 200, so I hope I don't get into trouble. But there we go. So yeah, so that's what you would do to follow people back as well. And again, then what you can do is, so these are all the people on this sort of tweet, and there's various other things like Twitter user. If you can put, I don't really use these too much, but again, it's something that I'm going to be looking into. Obviously, you can create Twitter lists. Again, it's not something that I've done a lot of, but followed by users, location searches, profile data. So there's quite a lot that you can actually do, but for now, you know, this one for me has just been enough, and with the follow backs and the follow back list. So what you'd then do is you would then go into not following you back. So I've got 6 people who, you can set this down here. So this is the time. So over the duration of 4 days, you know, I think that's plenty enough time. I mean, I think Craig set his at 3, but I've been a bit more lenient and given them 4 days to follow me back. And, you know, I know that if somebody follows me, I generally tend to look at them. I think, yeah, I'll follow you back. So if after 4 days they're not doing it, I would literally just get rid of these people. So unfollow, unfollow, unfollow. And what that does is, because eventually you want to be at a stage where you've got more followers than you're following. So by cleaning out your list like this, so not following you back, people who've unfollowed, so if they've unfollowed you, unfollow them back. And that's how you can do it as well. So people who are quiet, I mean, you know, there's these people who, you know, sorry if your name's on here, by the way, and you're watching this, but these are all the people that, you know, these 630 people that are really, really quiet, meaning that they're not very, you know, they don't really tweet that much, or you've got the inactive list. So these are people who are just not really doing that much at all. You can whitelist them. So what it might mean is, yes, okay, they might not be talkative, or they might not be this or whatever, but the people that you do still actually want to have on your list, like I just clicked on Screenomatic there, it's actually what I'm using to do this this tutorial today. So I've just followed them. So if you whitelist them, it means that they'll stay within the, you know, if they pop up in any of these lists that you want to unfollow, they'll have stayed in a list so they don't ever come back in. So I will just unfollow these. So that's that done. And then you've got your talkative crowd. So these are all the people in here. Then you've got your high ratios, foreign language. So there's 61 people there. So it's a bit, you know, sometimes you might just think, well, if it's a foreign language, is there any point in me actually following them? I know Craig gets rid of some of his. So that person there, I definitely don't know what that says. So you would unfollow. Some are actually in English. So it might just be a case of going through. If they're still in English, maybe keep them there. If it's definitely in a language that you do not understand, then I would just recommend that you unfollow them. So I'm going to stop this video here, because I do think it's best if we break this up, because this has gone on for just short of 15 minutes. So I will do the next video, and I'll show you how to do all the tweeting and the thank you in and that kind of thing. So if you can't watch this today, at least you can come back to it later. So I will catch you in part 2. Thanks. Bye.